Well, happy Saturday, folks. The real Captain Kirk here. We're live from One Bethlehem Plaza here in downtown Bethlehem. It's been a gloomy, soggy couple weeks here. Again, just epic rainfall. We went from drought to floods here with about 8-9 inches the last couple weeks. But blue sky, as you can see from the Weather Trends 360 camera south here. Again, blue sky is moving in. So hopefully we have an okay weekend here. I'll be speaking at DOMO's Agentic AI Innovation Summit here on the 21st, this coming Wednesday. It's a lot of sessions here, some live, some recorded. But again, we're on about the 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, so about 1 o'clock Eastern Time. So again, check out what we have to say here. These are 20-minute sessions on everything AI in the future and whatnot. So ours is pretty cool. So check it out here. The link, put the link in the YouTube video here. Looking at severe weather here, again, this is actually only through the 15th here, so it doesn't count the tornadoes. Actually went through St. Louis, Missouri. Got western St. Louis got hit pretty hard here with a tornado through the actual downtown to the west. But as the 15th here, we had about 779 tornadoes. Actually, it's 5% less than last year, still 31% above average. Hail is, again, a bit up over last year, 12% above average. And wind case is still the most in 14 years, well above average. So above average on all fronts, just the tornadoes are not as bad as last year in terms of numbers, but that may uptick here obviously, this past weekend once the data is collected. Looking at the severe weather threat, the cold fronts sweeping through the east. I'm going to stall out down the deep south here. So again, south and then Central U.S. Back on Monday. So again, severe weather will continue here with this cool weather. It's not what you want to see in the spring. Cool weather clashing with warm, humid air, typically a lot of severe weather. Drought status here as of the 13th of May here, about 55% of the country in dry to drought phases versus last year only 31%. A huge change. Remember last year we went from no drought in the spring to epic drought by 88% of the country back on November 5th, 2024 had dry to drought phases. That was historic, 88%. So we're down a bit from that really high, but still above average in terms of dry. That drought you see there in Pennsylvania, forget about it. That is gone. We are now actually above average rainfall after such an extremely dry start through April. These are U.S. Spring year-on-year weather trends, so how the temperatures changes from last year. So red bars show it's just much hotter than last year. Blue bars colder than last year. Green bars wetter, peach bars drier. Unfortunately, again, going into the Memorial Day weekend, this week is very, very cool. Again, the polar vortex is kind of non-existent this time of year. It falls apart after winter, but what little bit of it was left has actually brought some colder air into the eastern half of the country here, and we'll see that here in the pretty chilly week here before Memorial Day. Look at last week. Again, this was amazing how this pattern just flip-flop. It was really, really cold in the west and warmer east. That's completely flip-flopping as we go into the Memorial Day weekend here. But last week here, ending today, 2 degrees warmer than last year, warmest in 3 years, fourth warmest in 40 years, so much above average. Hot days were finally up 66% versus last year, most in 3 and third most in 40 years. So a lot of hot days, again, mostly down in the south and Texas. 8% wetter than last year, wettest in 10 years, 7th wettest in 40 years. So this time of year, we'd like to see warmer, drier trends for retail seasonal sales and things you and I like to buy and do outdoors. Unfortunately, didn't really have all of that with extremely wet weather. Cooler across Europe, again, coolest in 5 years, and hotspot maybe China, warmest in 7 years. Maps inset left are the trends versus average. This big map is trends versus last year, how our retail supply customers look at the weather. Looking at Memorial Day week, look at the flip-flop here. We went from cold west, warm east to exact opposite, warm in California, and almost very, very cool here in the Great Lakes Northeast. Just really, really cool. So on a national scale, we're 6.2 cooler than last year, coolest in 10 years, 6 coolest in 40 years, below average national temperatures, hot 90-degree days, down 21% versus last year, 9th most in 40 years. Much of that is, again, just confined to Texas, maybe the West, California. And rainfall still up about 12% over last year, wettest in 3, 15th wettest in 40 years. Much needed rain there in Nebraska. Missouri, again, more heavy rain there. Probably don't need that much rain here after again, such a dry earlier winter spring time frame. Look at next week here, week of Memorial Day. So this is through the last full week of May here, ending the 31st. A little bit of an uptick, still lingering cool weather. Again, slow moderation trend here in the eastern third of the country here, but warming up in the plains. Overall, the U.S. 0.8 warmer than last year, warmest in 5, 12th warmest in 40 years, so above average. Hot 90-degree days, even though it's warmer year on year, we're still looking at 90-degree days actually down versus last year, and rainfall actually down too. 31% drier than last year, 4th driest in 40 years. rain where they need it. They definitely need some rain there in the heartland. It's been pretty dry here, so they'll take it again with farmers' crops going in the ground or already in the ground. If we aggregate these world 2-week trends here, general theme is going to be east, warm west. Europe moderating a bit, still cool in Eastern Europe, warmer in Western Europe. Max temps versus last year is the map down below. Look at the total rainfall trends here for the 18th through the 31st. Again, heavy rain there in the heartland, Central Plains. They'll take it. In parts of that Kansas, Nebraska areas, they need it. Still a big dry slug there in central Brazil with the crops. Again, going into their drier season here, but harvesting their second crops down south. So with that, folks, have a great week ahead, and we will be back here again this time next week.